What's up, Leica fans? Today I'm visiting Leica Store in Berlin, and I'm going to check out the new Leica Q2. So let's go inside. So hello Leica fans, today I'm in Leica Store in Berlin and I'm here with Nico, and we are
Hey Martin.
And we are here to talk about the new Leica Q that has just been released a few weeks ago. And then when I look at the camera, the new Q2 looks pretty much like the old one, the Q. So from the outside it looks pretty similar. So what has been changed, what has been improved in the inside?
So you're right, on the outside there's nothing changed at all, just it's a bit taller, the lens is a bit longer, but you can still use the same protectors if you still have them, but they changed also the battery.
They also changed the battery, and it's now same as the SL, right?
Right, so you get more juice out of the battery, because camera needs more juice. Except for that, you see it's almost the same as the first Q, so most changes are being inside. It's the same lens. Anyone asks, they did not change anything on the optical construction, it's the same one. Just changed a bit the haptics, so the macro ring is now more easy to use, because the first one was pretty thin. They changed a bit the optics of the viewfinder, which is now an OLED. First Q was LCD. Main reason to use OLED is you have better contrast. Because OLED you can switch off each and every pixel.
Okay.
On an LCD you always have the backlight, because that's how LCD works, and a black is always a bit grayish on an LCD. So black is really true black on the Q2. So they also changed the on-off switch. On the first one you had single, continuous, and off switch. Now you have on and off and do the continuous in the menu. Then they changed to 47 megapixels, which is the main change compared to the first one. So you now have double the resolution, which allows you to crop up to 75 millimeters. The Q1 only had up to 50 millimeters.
That's what I also wanted to ask you. When the Leica was thinking about the new generation, they rather preferred to have this bigger sensor and crop options instead of using a different focal length for the lens, like not like 35 millimeter or 50 millimeter. I was just thinking if they ever thought of going this way, or if this is more like we're gonna make this camera 28 millimeter only.
So it's only my guess, because I'm not the product manager for the Leica Q. Only they can answer this. I think the main reason to stick with the 28 millimeter is it's more versatile than the 35, and everyone knows 28 because every smartphone shoots in 28 millimeter, so everyone is already familiar with this style. So you could set a bigger sensor, but it's only the resolution. The sensor has the same size as the first one. It's just almost double the resolution, which allows now more for cropping. So if the Q is your only camera and you use it on travels, you have now more options or more possibilities to get your subject closer if you cannot get closer to the subject.
And when you actually choose the crop option, the DNG file stays the same, or is it just for the JPEG?
Yeah, so the JPEGs will be cropped directly, so you cannot go back to 28 or to 35, what you have set in. But the DNG, if you open, for example in Lightroom, if you open the crop tool, the image is already cropped to that chosen focal length. It's not a true focal length, but you can always get back to the 28 millimeter with 47 megapixels. So the DNG always has the option to change your mind afterwards.
That's great. In terms of this Leica family of cameras, we have this medium format, and then full frame you have M cameras, then all the way down to APS-C. Where does this particular one stands? Like, who is it for in terms of customers? Like, you know, there are different customers using like medium format, different customers using like, for example, like a M. So who is this like premium compact camera for?
So I think main target customers are two groups. One is either the M shooter or maybe the SL or medium format shooter who wants to have a second, more compact option and don't want to build up a second system with the lenses and accessories. So it's just one camera, one lens, and you're ready to shoot. And the other group is, there are a lot of people who are admiring the M system but don't want to get into the M system because it's quite restricting. It doesn't have autofocus.
Do you think it's mostly autofocus?
I think the autofocus is one reason, but you can also use great manual focus on the Q, so it's really a breeze to use it with manual focus. But I think most customers want to have a really fast autofocus so they can get their shot if they really need to be. If you have fast-moving subjects, the Q will always be superior to the M system if you're not used to the M system. So if you're a long-time user of the M system, no problem to get also fast-moving subjects. But if you're not really into M system, I think this is the perfect camera. And if 28mm suits your photographic style, this is really the way to go. Small, compact camera, fantastic lens. So it's really a small little powerhouse. Yeah, so the first Q was not weather sealed, but I was out with my Q often, even in light rain, it was no problem. But the Q2 now is weather sealed. I think it was IP52, let me check. Yeah, IP52. Dust proof and spray waterproof. Yeah.
So when we look at the price point of Leica Q2, I think it's pretty much like, within the Leica family, you have the body plus you have the Summilux, and then when we look at the Summilux, for example, for M system alone, it's almost the same cost as the system.
No, it's even higher.
Yeah, it's even
it's
higher.
Even higher.
So I was wondering, how is it possible to achieve like this kind of price?
So units sold is sure a point which I cannot check because I'm not building the Q, but sure, but you cannot separate them. So you always have to see them as one unit. That's why it can be built so small, and that's for sure that it can be built cheaper than the M counterpart. Because the Summilux 28, which is then 1.4 instead of 1.7, is 6,000 euros.
Oh yeah.
And we already had customers who wanted to buy the Summilux for the M system and left the store with the Q1. Cheaper, and you have the additional autofocus. So this is also, it's a nice addition to the already existing M system. But I think it is still a premium price point, you named it. But if you really compare it to different systems which may be cheaper, it's not that much more expensive, because it's really what you get. You get a Leica lens, which is built in Germany, and the camera also, and also the pre-orders for the Leica Q2. So many customers want to spend this amount of money for such a great camera, because right now we have minimum 8 weeks waiting time.
Oh really?
Yeah. Okay. And if we get more pre-orders in, the waiting time will be even longer. And I think this is not only for our store, this may be applied for almost every Leica dealer right now. Because as far as I know, the Leica Q2 is nowhere in stock. So we have now minimum 8 weeks.
Oh really?
Yes. So we had already the first batch, but this was pre-ordered. So the first cameras were instantly sold. They've never seen the shelves here in the store. They were directly sent to the customers who already pre-ordered before the official release from the camera. So
I remember when the Q1, the first generation, was released. It was pretty pretty much also surprise, but also a big success.
Yes.
Do you see more customers coming from Q1, or just like new people coming into the system because of the new generation?
So a lot of customers are changing now to Q2, which is good for the customers who want to get into the Q system. Now there are a lot of used cameras available. We already have some used cameras available. We already sold a lot of used cameras from customers who switched to the Q2. And we're offering the first Q also for a special price right now. So if someone wants to get into the Q system, but does not really need the 47 megapixels, the Q1 is still a camera on a very, very high level. And even if it's now almost 4 years old, it's still a camera which is up to date to all the competitors. So if you're not really using 47 megapixels, why not have a look at the first Q, which is now offered for a better price, or get a used one.
Oh yeah. Okay, that sounds great. So pretty much anyone can come to your store and try the Leica Q?
Sure. Just bring your passport, leave it here, and then you can have the camera for half an hour. Bring your own SD cards, you can take your pictures with you. Everyone is welcome to try out the Q2 or any other camera. So if you want to have a look, want to have a try, so if you want to get into the Leica system, this needs more than just holding the camera and try it out inside. Just bring us an SD card and then you can have a camera for half an hour. And then
I think it's actually pretty reasonable to check the camera before you actually buy it, because it's not
really important.
You know, the cheapest thing. So I think it's really good to try it out, and it's great this option is available.
Yeah. And for the Leica SL, we even offer a weekend test drive. So you can have the Leica SL with the 24-90 for a whole weekend. Or if we have it available, you can also give you a used camera for a weekend to try it out. Because many customers want to have a look at the M system, but they really need to see the images before.
Because it's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone, so you have to try it out. And if we have a used camera available, sure, why not go for a weekend for free? So everyone is invited to have a look at the cameras and try them out. So you can really make up your mind, is the M system something for me, or maybe Q is better for me, or you mentioned APS-C system, there's also Leica CL, which is a very powerful system. So everyone will find the right camera, the right system for their needs.
As we were talking before, you said you have one of the biggest collection of used cameras in Berlin.
Yes, so we are
not only in Berlin.
Maybe even in Germany. I'm not aware of all the stock of all the other dealers. So we have a very large used section. Also in our Munich and our Hamburg store, they also have large amounts of used gear available. Back to the 1920s, or M system starting with the first M3 going up to, no M10 available right now, but we already had M10 used available. Yeah, so everyone finds something, or if you're more into SLRs, there's also Leica R system. Okay, so thank you for the information. You're welcome. Everyone will find it useful, and you have a beautiful store. And thanks. If you have time to come by or just visit in Berlin, I would much recommend to stop by and check this Leica store. So thank you for having me. Thanks for coming. Thank you.